Attention athletes, this is the final call for the following.
If you're sitting on your couch, maybe after an extra waffle or two, and you haven't worked out in a while,
On your mark.
this story may make you feel a little inadequate. But it may also inspire you. After all, how could you not be inspired by someone like Dottie Gray? On the day of the race, she was 90. Yep, 90. Says so. Right on her leg.
I race about 50 times a year, 50 runs.
When we caught up with her, she was competing in the World Senior Games in southern Utah. Over the years, she's more than once ended up being the fastest runner in her age group. Fastest in the world, that is.
Dottie Gray got the 2 golds. Oh my gosh.
She's won so many medals, she jangles. And around almost any track,
You're Dottie, aren't you?
Yes.
Dottie? Oh, Dottie.
she's a silver-haired celebrity.
Keep moving. That's the main thing. And it doesn't matter how old you are, you can always start. You're never too old to start.
Orville Rogers didn't start running until he was in his 50s. He's now 98. Just 2 years shy of a century, and still works out up to 10 hours a week.
What do you consider old?
5 years older than I am.
Yeah, that's old. The outstanding overall male athlete of the year.
Orville has broken 15 world records, shattering them the way most people his age might shatter a hip.
To this day, Lee, I'm the only man in the world that has run a 10-minute mile after age 90.
Wow.
And I'm the only man in the world that's run a 15-minute mile after age 95. I'm bragging, aren't I?
You have every reason to brag. God, it is such a massive airplane, though.
Oh, yeah.
A pilot during World War II, who later flew for Braniff Airlines, Orville knows he's been pretty blessed with good genes. But he's not superhuman either. Heart troubles have led to bypass surgery. He even had a stroke not too long ago. But his consistent level of physical activity and his unfailingly positive outlook on life have made Orville a true life man of steel.
I have a determination to hang in there, keep going, never give up.
Let's face it, there are perfectly rational reasons to not want to work out when you get older. It hurts, you're worried about falling, maybe you don't have friends around anymore to work out with. And yet, it's pretty hard to argue with the results.
Stop there and run down there.
Dixon Hemphill is by far the oldest person at George Mason University's Fieldhouse in Virginia. He's 91. Pushing himself to stay active, he says, isn't always fun.
Sometimes these races that I run, it's not easy. And I feel like quitting when I'm halfway through.
But you don't.
But I don't, no.
He was an undefeated pole vaulter in high school, but that was way back in the 1930s. Other than golf and a little tennis, he didn't do much as he got older. Until one day, he went to a track meet.
I tried the mile. I got about halfway through and started walking.
Really?
And I looked around and saw these other people and figured, well, if they can do it, I can.
He hasn't stopped running since, and we wanted to see just what effect that determination has had on his body.
His arm is just progressively going to move down.
With his doctor's permission, we brought him to the Department of Exercise and Nutrition Sciences at George Washington University, where this machine scanned just how much body fat Dixon has been carrying around.
In a perfect specimen, what would you see that's different than this?
In a perfect specimen, you would see this. Your body fat is excellent.
Mm-hmm.
It's 14%.
Wow.
That's in the athletic category for a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
A 20-year-old. Imagine that.
So,
It's amazing. You find that out from this, yeah.
Okay, whenever you're ready.
Loretta DiPietro is professor and chair of the Exercise and Nutrition Department
How you doing? Good.
and wanted to give Dixon what's called a VO2 max test. The test, one of the best indicators of physical fitness, measures how efficient his body is at using oxygen.
Come on, go, finish this, come on.
doing great.
He has to push himself to his breaking point. And remember, he's 91 years old.
Okay, give us a sign here.
Awesome.
Still okay?
Not surprisingly, Dixon scored better than many people 30 years younger.
That was outstanding.
We can't all be Dixon, or Orville, or Dottie, for that matter. They're all exceptions.
I was hoping to compete until I was 90. Well, now I've made that, so I'll go on maybe, hopefully, a few years.
But for the rest of us, as we lose muscle mass, the effects of low physical activity are increasingly pronounced.
Much of the aging-related decline in physical function is similar to what we observe from astronauts when they come down from extended space flight.
Like, do your muscles start essentially atrophying and wasting away?
Yeah,
I mean, that's
absolutely.
really what's happening.
Yeah.
DiPietro says almost anybody, even as late as their 70s or 80s, can not only cheat old age, but may also substantially reduce their risk of Alzheimer's and dementia by doing something as simple as walking.
What we've noticed with 2 decades of aging research is those people who remain active, their rate of decline is much slower.
At the USA Track and Field Indoors Masters Championships in Albuquerque, New Mexico this past March, the best of the oldest came out to prove age is just a number.
You ready to go?
I don't know.
Despite that hesitation, Orville and Dixon wouldn't miss this for the world.
It's hard not to get excited.
Orville's excitement was infectious, as was his performance. In the 1500 meter, he broke another world record. Truth is, he set that record. No one 95 or older has ever raced it.
So go all the way around in this lane and then cut in there.
You got it.
Okay.
In the 400 meter race for men over 90, it was just Orville and Dixon alone competing. By their last lap, they have the crowd on their feet. Just look at that smile on Orville's face. Dixon, 7 years his junior, beat him and was waiting for him at the finish line with a handshake.
You don't even seem winded.
Well, now I'm okay, but, well, I wasn't that winded because it's not that long a distance.
Yeah.
I can handle that pretty well.
What does it feel like when you hear everybody cheering for you?
Can't describe it.
Yeah?
Way to go, gentlemen. Well done. Well
You
done.
can't help but be around the two of them and not feel empowered.
Do we put them on? Oh, might as well.
Orville and Dixon took the medal stand side by side, nearly 200 years of life experience between them. For them, there is no finish line, just the next race, and their ageless desire to run it.